here a query, and I run a select here. I have IntelliSense here, and I have IntelliSense for fields. And I can run this query here, and I have the result on the other side here. It's okay, and now I can save, for example, in a CSV or a JSON file. I will save in a JSON file here, and test. And I have this file saved by Visual Studio Code inside my editor here. It's very useful if you work with a database. Maybe you can consider using Visual Studio Code because I have my code, my database, my scripts, and all of these things together inside my file. Okay, and I will show for you Markdown sample. It's here. I have here a Markdown file. It's a README MD, and I can click here and open a preview, and I can see exactly the result of Markdown file. I have here a code sample. It's a code sample here, and I have a preview here. It's very fast to write your Markdown files. You can use the same editor for do this. And for example, I have another sample here inside HTML file. I have HTML file here, and I need to run this file, and maybe I can see the result of this file on the browser. I can change some things about this. I have an extension that's a web server here. I can click and go live here, and I have application running here, and I can put my Visual Studio Code here, and I will change here session, and I can save, and I can see the results there. It's a very interesting because I can do this at the same time I can see the application results. But I can run a debug of here of this application. I have a JavaScript here, and at this point Visual Studio Code has an interesting feature that is Workspace. You can see that I have only a folder here, right? And for Visual Studio Code to execute my code, we need to understand what kind of code and the execution environment is. And for example, I have for any Visual Studio Code directories a VS Code dir, and I have some files here. I have, I can choose another one here. Oh, I have launch. I have a launch file, and I have a preview file. Oh, I have here in Java. I have a launch. Launch is how code can execute my code. How can start my execution environment. And I have some Java commands here. For example, this is a Java application. And I have here another file that is tasks. Tasks are commands that can I do inside Visual Studio Code. For example, when I click Ctrl Shift and P, I can click on Java compiler. For example, I have many Java commands here, and this is how Visual Studio Code can run my code, right? But to do this, Visual Studio Code needs to understand my environment, and I have only one directory here, and Visual Studio Code doesn't have information about this here, and I need to use an workspace concept here. I have a workspace here, and in a workspace, Visual Studio Code can divide my directories inside applications. And then, for example, I have here now an Java environment here, and I see the Java code here, and I have another side here. It's an Angular. And then imagine if you have, for example, two different languages in your application, for example, Java and Angular like this, and you can run at the same editor, not at the same time, but you can run together inside the same editor. And then, for example, I will run a Java application here. It's a pretty simple of Java here, okay? And I have a debug here, and I can try to run. And when I run, I try to run here. I can see, oops, and when I click here, I can see the Java code here, okay? I can start. And we have a Java environment starting now, and my code was compiled. Oh. And my code can debug inside here, and I have execution environment here. And the Visual Studio is starting demo. And I can run this code inside my Visual Studio. Okay. And the build system, and I have a debug here. Look, I'm debugging a Java code inside Visual Studio Code, and I can interact with this code here. For example, I can see defined variable, and this variable has a VS code inside it, and I can change this value here. For example, ignite, and this value changed here for me. And if I can show again, I have ignite here, and I can debug this code here like any Java environment. Okay, and I have some tests here for this Java application, and I have many tests inside this, and I can run these tests. I have a runner here, and I can see the result of these tests inside Visual Studio Code after running. Okay, I have 3 tests here, and I have a test that not passing, and here I have a red X, and I can see a resume of this clicking on here, and I have a resume for all tests in Java application, right? And it's very interesting because you can use a simple editor with many functionalities inside it. Okay, I can take this open, and I will open another directory here with another code instance here, and now I have a PHP file here, and I have a Docker file here, and I have a IntelliSense for Docker here. I need to wait a few moments to from, for example, NGX. And I have all NGX versions here inside my Visual Studio Code. Looking at my register, okay, and I can run, for example, Docker Compose here, and I put Composer up, and the Visual Studio Code build my container and running, and I can see at the Docker extension my container running here, and I can run my container here. At the browser, and I can do this using only Visual Studio Code. Okay, I can drop my container here, and is it. And I can put, for example, Docker files here using an extension, and I put all Docker files from my application, and can I choose what environment I have, and Visual Studio Code create all environment for this Docker file and Docker Compose for this application, right? And I have, for example, I will open another. If you are using a PowerShell, for example, and I have here a PowerShell code, and I have a pretty simple PowerShell code here, and I can run this using the same concept. I have here the launch that configure my environment to run this code, and I can run this script here inside my Visual Studio Code, for example. And remember that if I need to show this environment with another people, for example, I need help, I can click here on the live share, and I can share my environment with another people. And we have worked together. And I have a debug here too. And for the finish, I have here a virtual machine. This is a Linux machine. It's an Ubuntu. And I have here the same way to use Visual Studio Code. I have the same tool here, the same extensions. If I need to synchronize my extensions, I have a plugin that I can do this. And here I have a .NET code here, and it's the same application, the same comments, the same environment. You can use the same here. Okay? And maybe you can consider use Visual Studio Code inside your company. And I have some links. And if you get started with Visual Studio Code, you can look at this link, and we have many samples with many languages for you. And if you need to create your own extension, you can do this. And I have my blog, and I put my code here. And that's it. Thanks for coming, and appreciate Visual Studio Code.